just got this new power steering rack from McGeorge Toyota. In case you didn't see the first video, this is how my power steering rack currently looks. And even though I haven't driven it in a while, it's still dripping. So now we're gonna take that rack and put it here. The first step to getting the steering rack out, I think, is going to be to drain all the fluid. So I'm gonna disconnect the return hose and just let the fluid drain for a little bit. Now we have to remove this skid plate. I think it's a 12. 1, 2, 3 skid plate bolts. There's 2 holes right here, and there are actually bolts in there. Are these the same? Okay, they're all the same. 5 bolts, and now it's trying to come off. All right. Take a look at all the crap that's been accumulating on this. This is what the dry side looks like. So now we'll be able to get to everything we need to get to, easy peasy. And it's time to start taking off the tie rods. No, don't do that first. Take the sway bar off first. Take this. So now we have to take the tie rod ends off so we can get the steering rack off. But before we do that, we're gonna have to mark the threads where the tie rod ends are currently secured so that when we put them back to the new steering rack, our alignment should be pretty decent. Enough to take it to an alignment shop. All right, my wife let me borrow her paint, so I'm gonna try and use as little as possible while still making a clear mark. So that's one side. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So now we gotta take this jam nut off of the tie rod here. Let's get a real big one. 22? Still too small. I'm gonna go look at my tools and make sure I have something big enough for this. Nowhere around town had any 27mm wrenches, so I've got this. Looks like 27 to me. Ooh, stopped. No, you can see my scars real good. Don't bite through your lip, kids. Oh, my hands are dirty. I forgot to put gloves on. Shit dripping on my forehead. Can't wait to get this stupid thing out of here. Yes! Oh, it's free. Alright, that's one side. Let's do the other side real quick. Oh man, a really strong guy put this side on. Oh, this side is rusty. Oh god. I'm just gonna go get a pipe. This is insane. Oh, this makes my arm tired. Oh, make it stop. Oh baby. Both tie rod ends are finally off. So now I need to disconnect the steering from the steering rack and the hard lines from the rack, which are both these, but not from here, from the other side or something. So this is how we were just looking at the steering rack in the truck. This is going to go up to the steering wheel. This is what we're going to have to remove from the other rack. And then it looks to be mounted here and here. I'll go ahead and start trying to strip the other rack and get it off. So this little bolt right here is tightening this clamp that's holding the steering column onto the steering rack. So I'm going to loosen that. It's a 12 mil. The entire rack is twisting, which does not inspire confidence in me. Oh, it actually did matter. I can't strip this. I'll have another one. This is damaged. Oh, there we go. Now I see why people spend a lot of money on those electric sockets. Alright, there's the bolt. That's off. Now I need to get the hard lines back here. These are the lines that I need to remove. I'm going to start putting some flare nut wrenches on them and see which one fits. We'll do 17 here. Oh, that might be it. Yep, that's it. There's like no room in here. What if I loosened the rack? Or maybe hanging from the hard lines would just hurt it. Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you how stupid I feel.
It's okay to feel dumb.
Hi.
My regular 17 mil is a lot longer, so I'm going to try and switch them out and see if the extra leverage is enough. Look, the starter is like right there. It's so long it hits the starter. I don't think it's possible to get it out without loosening the power steering rack, so I'm going to loosen the power steering rack and see if that makes it easier. These deep sockets are too tall. Oh, finally. Alright, it's on there. It just hits the sway bar. Take the sway bar off first. This is the only thing left holding everything on. So I've got a regular wrench on there and I'm gonna stick a pipe on it. Oh! Fucking finally, dude. Pinched my fingies. The rack is free of the mounts, and I broke both of the hard lines. The hard line nut is rounding. The pinch bolt I got out yesterday was the correct bolt to get out, and I just need to get the lines off, and then I can pull this fucking rack out. Here's my 17 mil. I hate this job. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just take the sway bar off. I couldn't find my camera last time I worked on my truck. So the last thing I filmed, I was having trouble getting the bolts for the lines out of the old rack and having trouble getting the rack off of the steering column. The only thing I've done, I removed the power steering pressure line from the top right here, so that way I can just pull the line with the rack out. Now the other line is in a convoluted shape at the bottom and I won't be able to pull that one straight off. Yes, the low pressure return line is in a convoluted shape at the bottom, but actually there's a rubber connection between a short piece called the return tube end fitting. You can just cut that return tube end fitting. It's like a $20-something part. That's what I eventually did. I'm in the middle of taking the sway bar out. All I did was I took the two center bolts with the bushings, took those out, and now I need to do the end links. The sway bar end links are 14 on this truck, and you're gonna need 2 wrenches. I'm gonna need a deeper socket. I really just need a 1/4-inch ratchet. Tip, take the sway bar off before you do anything else. I feel like it's getting tighter. That's one way to delete your sway bar. Let's get this the rest of the way out. Where's me 12? I'll get new end links and bushings and everything. That's the wrong size, dude. It is a 12. Dude, I have to go buy one of those electric wrenches. I want a garage. I want everything I own to have a place. I don't want to lose things in the dirt and the gravel and the leaves. Oh, I should have paid somebody to do this. Alright. Why is this side way easier? Probably point the camera where I'm working. And the reason we're doing this is because I'm gonna need 2 new end links anyway. So why the hell would I go through the effort of taking it off from the other end when I don't need to? I took this mud flap off too. I don't understand why this one doesn't come off. Oh yeah, come out. 12 mil things out. Come out. I'm gonna get a pry bar. That was way too hard. Now that the sway bar is off, yep, I'm not rebuilding this rack, so whatever happens to it does not matter to me. This thing is coming out today. Today this thing is out. I don't care if I need to cut something. This steering rack has been partially out of my truck for 3 weeks? Where's my goddamn... Fuck yeah, dude. What was our lesson, huh? The shop manual says take out the sway bar. You take out the fucking sway bar, dude. You don't think to yourself like, man, sure doesn't seem like you really need to take the sway bar out. It's not really in the way of anything. Dude, shut your dumb ass up and take the fucking sway bar out like it says. Your reign of terror is over, fucking high pressure line. Alright, return line. It's your fucking turn. I don't think I can get that line out. Now that I have light, I finally see what I've been doing wrong this entire time. I was never making any progress. That's why I was never making any progress. Oh! Yes! We did get the rack out, but there was a casualty. I do need to order one of these bolts. In reality, I stripped the shit out of this anyway. I also can't get this off. Oh, jeez. So now that my power steering rack is drowned in a pool of its own blood, it's totally time to start gearing up this one to be put in. However, I know that I can't finish installing without this new... I'm gonna need some sway bar end links, and I'm gonna need to figure out how to get my end links out. The one is broken and then the other one is stripped. If you like the videos, consider liking the video. Also leave comments, that's way more fun for me because I get to read them. I got parts. Sway bar end links. And the low pressure power steering return line tube. Snip, snip. This is that low pressure power steering return tube fitting. It's gonna go in this upper hole right here in the steering rack. Got a Smash tournament in an hour I have to play in, so I'm not gonna be able to shoot for very long right now, but it's nice out, so I just wanted to get some work done. This is the 17 flare nut. It's going on nice and easy. So this bolt and washer need to go right here on the power steering reservoir, and on top of that bolt we need to get this hose right here. Get the washer here and then stick the bolt through this piece with the washer on it. So now this washer is on top of this bolt here, and then I'm gonna thread this into this hole. Oh, perfect. Yep, okay. Alright, and if I remember right, this is a 17, so I'm gonna go look for one. So let me find a real 24 real quick. So I'm gonna put this butte right here, and then I'm going to tighten this as much as I can, which probably isn't too much more. That's all I can do with this little guy. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you got a stuck rubber hose, don't try to pull it off up here where you've got no safety net to stop you from breaking the rubber. Make sure that you grab onto it down here where it's got something under it. Grab it and do a little twisting. Try to set it free. There we go. So this upper one was on this side here with this little plugged bung. Jesus! Where in Sam hell's my 17? Alright, so we're going to take the vice grips, grab on to this. Oh, actually we're going to do it the other way. I like trains. Take this down here, make sure it's over the humps. I was going to come down here and try to mount the power steering rack, but when I got here I realized I can't progress because I never got this off. So this bolts to the steering shaft on the end of the steering wheel, and I need to get this off because it was 60 bucks and I just didn't want to buy a new one just because I couldn't get it off the old rack. But the new rack needs one, so I just have to get it off, and I just really don't have time to struggle with this. Let's get back to it. I rotated this all the way to one side and then matched this one up. So the steering alignment should be close. Now I need to actually put this up on top of its mounts and start reattaching everything. Actually, before we put the rack in, I remember we have this ugly ass bushing bracket that's just covered in grease and it's disgusting. Okay. Since this battery has no power, sure the other one works. These two are mounts for the sway bar, and this is a mount for the steering rack. It'll probably look really terrible if you actually look at it, but really I just need it to not rust. This little guy goes in the vertical hole. This horizontal bolt in, this vertical bolt in, and now I need to try and get this thing up here attached. And I need one of these and another one of these, which I'll have to find. They gotta be like on the ground right here somewhere. Oh, they're right here. Gotta get these turned exactly right so that this freaking bolt will go through between the two of them. Here's my light. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Okay. Jeez. There's the bolt. I need to get that to go through a hole in the top part of the steering bushing thing and through that little silver looking collar. There's one on each side. I'm going to try and get those in, and then so this is the progress I've made so far mounting. This bolt it goes all the way through here, and then there's a nut on the back, and then here there's another bolt that threads into this piece in the cross member here, and then that bracket that's on the ground there will go around this bushing and go through this gas tank in metal, so this sticks to it. It would be nice to have like a tiny little GoPro with like a magnetic mount that I could just... There's a big old drive shaft in the way. How does Chris do it, dude? Oh yeah, that actually was really fast. The washer and the nut. That's not the right nut. Did I just pick a different nut up off the ground? Okay. There's the nut. Where's the washer? Oh, can I have a lift in a garage yet? Fuck. Oh, it's still on the bolt. Ah. Oh, I thought this side would be harder, but I can actually see this if I lay upside down. Now I need two 12mm wrenches. You know, there's something nice and cozy about just being under a truck. Oh my god. I'm on opposite fucking bolts. The next thing I want to do is these two bolts right here. I need to get the high pressure line connected. It's really hard to see these from anywhere where I can put the camera, so I'm just going to have to tell you what I'm going to do. The low pressure line, which is currently attached to the rack, I need to actually connect to the hose. And then the return, and then the pressure hose, which is currently not screwed in, I need to screw in. Me dumb, and the reason me dumb is I reinstalled this power steering line. The nut here is still attached to this line, and I can't separate them, so I need to take the line off at the other end so I can twist it. So I had to undo everything you just saw because I can't get this stupid high pressure line in. So I'm gonna wind it in before I install and get my wife to help pull the pressure line up through the engine bay, which is a pain in the butt. Yesterday was the first nice day in a while, but I had to drive to Maryland because we had a family Christmas party, which was a good time, but now it's time to get back under the truck and finish up. Are you enjoying the nice weather today, little guy? Hmm? Yeah? Oh, good boy, Nook. So, where did we leave off? Man, I can't find that fucking spring. I found the hose clamp so I can put the return line in, and then I'll be able to torque down the rack. Come on, you hose clamp, you. Open up. Alright, now get on there. Yes. Oh, looks like the camera fell back at some point. What I was just doing was getting this hose and hose clamp onto this fitting here at the top of the steering rack. This is that low pressure line, and the high pressure line is back here behind my hand. Now I need to tighten down the rack. Alright, let's figure out what all this stuff is. This is a 19. That's a 22. Should have everything then. Oh, that one's still tight. This one's a 19. Oh, imagine if I had flexible head ratcheting wrenches. Oh, now it's starting to get tight. Oh, okay. This is on, these are on. That's everything that holds the steering rack in. I guess I need to go in and turn the steering wheel. This boot is a little cracked, actually. Boot's not open yet, but it's just got those like dry rot cracks. Oh, should I leave this off and do the end links? I think I should, because I'm not gonna be able to get to the end link that easily. Oh, I wish I had a garage. All right, let's see if my impact will just take it off. So that was my first time grinding on something, and I nicked the odor cunding. Jesus fucking Christ. And I nicked the undercoating on the frame a little bit, so I'm going to rust that. Fuck me. I'm going to need to sand that and then spray it with some of the rusted hearing paint I have. Alright, you ready for this trick? The world's smallest paint booth. I gotta get the other side too. Oh my goodness, I didn't get like the most important part. Alright, I'm gonna turn the wheel so I have access over here. Hey, that was way easier. Okay, great. This time I didn't cut on the back at all, I only cut on the front because I sort of figured out how to get these damn things off. Oh wait, I should sand that first. Alright. Maybe that's too much, but also, who cares? So let me unbox my tie rod end links for you. I went with Moog because Toyota ones are like super expensive, and these should be good enough. I don't have grease, so these are greasable fittings, so they need to be greased. So I need to go get grease and get a grease gun. You can see the fitting here. So you plug a grease gun into this, and then you'd fill this boot up, and this boot will expand. Can't forget to do that, that's important. The nut I just ground off is this. So this will go in the hole that I just painted. This will stick up out the top, and the sway bar will go right here. Let's go to the other side and install the end link. We're gonna install the end links now. What is this, some American shit all of a sudden? My 17 don't fit. I should have been using a smaller cutoff wheel. Where is the end link? I went on the internet and I learned that on this end link here, there's this little boxed section. This is an 18 mil, but I don't have an 18 mil open-ended wrench, so I'm using a 19 mil, and it also works because this is more of a square and less of an actual bolt shape, so 19 is enough bite. So I already did that on the other side. Now I'm gonna take the only 18 wrench that I own, which is a flare nut, and I'm gonna tighten this up some. Now I can't get that off, so I'll loosen it. There. And that's as tight as I can make it. It's pretty much just tighten it until I can't get the wrench out, and then loosen it until the wrench starts to move, and then I pull it out. And as you can see, the end link is separated from the rotation of this bolt inside the nut. Now I just need to take this off the top of the sway bar. Where's my 14? There it is. Oh, it's not a 14. It's not 15. Get out of this, cameraman. So the sway bar is gonna go on top of that. So let me show you the sway bar real quick, just in case you're not familiar with the construction. This is a sway bar. Essentially, your suspension components are connected at both ends, so that essentially extreme flex only to one side is eliminated. This is particularly useful for going around a corner, because as you know, there's springs on each side on your tires. So if you were to turn a corner, as you're turning, you'll sort of wash out in the opposite direction. So with a sway bar, if one side tries to compress, the force will be transferred across the bar to the other side, which will stop it from rolling as much. So a sway bar is what helps you take a corner and maintain sort of a level vehicle. So I'm going to need to reattach this. A lot of off-roaders actually just take them off, but I daily my truck on the highway. It has road tires, and so I have no reason to keep my sway bar off. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bushings in these flat locations here, and then put these holes over top of the sway bar end links I just installed. I forgot to record. Sway bar is like up there, but it's not installed yet. You can see the blue poly bushings. I need to find some more bolts, because believe it or not, I lost shit that I had. Crazy, right? You've never heard me say I'd lost something before. Not on this channel. It's just very uncharacteristic of me to lose something like this. I've got 3 of these bad boys now. What problems? Who's got them? I've got them too. I found it. It was in the grass. Because I don't have a garage. Be careful when you do this, because it's hard to tell if you're threading them correctly, because the bar is putting pressure on the mounts and everything. Probably the right way to do it is to have 2 people do it, somebody to hold the sway bar and somebody else to do those 4 bolts before you put the ends of the sway bar in, but that's just not what I did. The sway bar is on, the mounts are tightened. Now I need to tighten the tops of the end links, and then I can put the tie rods back on. You need 15. Oh. The sway bar is under like a lot of force. Pretty damn tight is probably the prescription the doctor ordered. Oh, I should have bought a house with a garage. I could get one of those power wrenches. Ow. There's not enough material on the top anymore. Sway bar's on. You just gotta put the key in so we can turn the steering wheel, and then turn the steering wheel until it like kisses this, and then we can start rotating. That looks kind of cool. Now I need a giant ass wrench for this. It's a 27? Can you give the steering wheel like the slightest turn to the right? I have a feeling this would be easier if the truck was in the air, because I could just move the wheel. One thing I've learned is that if you feel like you're doing something the wrong way, just switch what you're doing fast, because you're gonna waste time trying to do it the harder way. I should have like sat my sway bar end links next to each other and done like a before and after shot. I'm not doing it now. Don't look at me. Yeah, there are 3 things we have left to do. We have to reattach this high pressure hose, we have to refill the power steering fluid reservoir, and we have to grease up the grease fittings on the sway bar end links that I put on. And we got grease gun stuff. It's over there on the ground. So I get out a 17mm. Where's my stupid 17, the little baby one? This is a 24. And then we'll just, just tighten the living crap out of it. And now, these hoses. Surely it doesn't matter. Oh no, it does matter, because this one is after the throttle body. This one is almost certainly before the throttle body, because there's the throttle right there. So the question is, which one is supposed to be atmosphere and which one is supposed to be intake? So this upper one is on this side here with this little plugged bung. Everything that I undid is redone. Oh, there's that little bolt down there. So if you follow this high pressure hose, you'll see that there's a little bracket right there that just holds it. Oh, that looks like a 10. I don't think this 12 is gonna fit. I think I've lost like over a dozen things during the filming of this. I found almost all of them. If this wasn't up on ramps, this wouldn't be so annoying. So I'm standing on my tiptoes. If I was taller too, that would help. This is what it's come to. It is much easier now, I will say. This is like the first time I've had that intrusive thought of like what would happen if my car fell off the jack stands right now while I was working on it, and the answer wasn't, I die. So that's cool. At the very least, it is trapped. I can see my house from here. Let's put the goo in. I think we're at that stage. These are just little like, oh jeez. All this goo is actually how I found all this in the first place. Okay, close enough. There's probably little plastic things on the ground that I lost. Oh, I should put my gloves on. Okay, they don't pay me to be smart.
They don't pay you at all.
That's right, it's because I don't have 1,000 subs. Oh, I got distracted. I was checking all the stuff I took off. I'll put the mud flaps on after the truck is on the ground. That's not any harder. In fact, it's probably going to be easier when I can turn the wheels to make space. What all did I do? I reassembled that power steering stuff up with engine bay. Sway bar end links I tightened yesterday. The sway bar bushings are in, those are new. The clamps on the sway bar I tightened yesterday, that took 1,000 years. The mounts for the power steering here, and these 2 I tightened already. Tie rods I tightened. The steering column bushing thing I tightened already, and the power steering lines into the rack I tightened already. It should be good. Oh, I found the f***ing ratchet. It was under my toolbox. Should be like basically empty. So I'm gonna use some Dexron 6 just because that's what was available. Just at the hardware store, this is all they had.
You're gonna use a funnel?
No. Funnel? You're crazy. Using a funnel.
Think of all the dinosaurs that had to synthetically work in a lab to make that.
Dinosaurs and lab coats.
Yep. I mean, that's what synthetic oil is, right?
Alright, so we're gonna start it.
Are you gonna put the lid?
So right now it's just like sitting in here, and then it's gonna get pumped down into there. And then as I turn it to one side, this one side will fill up, and then as I turn it around, it'll get all the air out eventually. And it'll stop making that terrible noise, but in the meantime, it will probably make that terrible noise.
A little bit of goop shot up.
I say let's grease the sway bar end links and then go like take it out for a little spin and see if it starts making noise. So I'm just gonna roll it forward off the ramp. This is totally what needle nose pliers are for.
Nice cock.
Oh, do you put this in the bottom?
Pretty sure the whole thing just might go in, and then that top thing gets pierced. Okay, we're just not used to playing with cocks.
So now I can try to put this right on, and if that doesn't work, then I'll switch to the rubber hose thing. Oh, the cat's hot. Well, I immediately know this would be easier with the hose, but it looks like it'll actually go on anyway. I can't see the boot. I need to see when the boot fills up, but I need 2 hands to operate this thing. Not sure if it's because of the angle or what. Oh yeah, it's just the angle. Oh, I feel grease. The real question is now, how does this come off? Alright, where's the Chris fix how to use a grease gun? Oh. It came off. Other side. I'm now a grease gun expert. Oh, that one's twisted differently. Can you get that 14 mil wrench?
I found the 14. So there's supposed to be a black hose somewhere under some leaves.
I wish I had a garage! There's gonna be like 10 of those in this video. I need to get the metal part out. Put this back on. It's a 5 mil. Hard cross F, my dudes. But I'm not sure if fuck you, you're never getting this off tight is the correct amount of tight. Now the problem is how the fuck do we get this tip off of this perfectly round shaft? I wish I had a vise, you know, that you'd like mount on a table. But you need somewhere like hard to attach the table to, so you'd need like maybe a concrete floor, like you'd have in a garage. Easy. Surely that's fine. I'm used to having a little bit more room under here for some reason. There it goes. Now it's splooging. Alright, so the way you get one of these things off is you just twist it a lot. Like, it's on there straight, you just turn it like this and then it just comes off. So yeah, that's the end of the technique. Truck is fixed, probably. Let's try it. Oh wait, there's some tools in here. Sway bar does feel better. Like the truck doesn't roll as much. Goodbye, truck. Ooh, I'm getting a ride in the Gway-mobile.
They're working on an ambulance in there.
Oh, are they? Yeah, they're getting it in. They're getting it in.
I saw the officer waiting. Yeah, the officer that was waiting in the median of the highway.